Imagine a 7-year-old girl too scared to walk to school, until a group of bikers stepped in and did something that left the whole neighborhood speechless. What happened next? Stay with me, and don't forget to subscribe to Black Inside 2.0 for more heart-touching stories. Morning sunlight spread softly over the quiet neighborhood, yet the world felt anything but warm to little Amara Johnson. At just 7 years old, she carried a backpack almost bigger than her tiny frame, its seams worn out from the weight of everything she had been holding inside. Every day, she walked to school alone. Every day, she tried to be brave. And every day, she wished someone would notice her fear. Her mother worked double shifts. Her father had passed years ago. And her older brother, the only one who ever walked with her, had moved to another city for school. Amara didn't want to worry her mother, so she stayed silent. She kept her trembling hands behind her back, pretending to be strong. But that morning, she wasn't strong enough. Amara stood at the edge of the road, staring down at her shoes, gathering courage that just wouldn't come. Her small voice barely left her lips. "I don't want to go alone." That was the moment she heard the distant rumble, the growl of motorcycles rolling down the street. Most kids would run away from the sound. But not Amara. Something in her heart whispered that today would be different. 8 motorcycles pulled into the parking lot of a diner across the street. Big engines, big boots, big jackets. They looked like a storm on wheels. But the moment the bike stopped, the storm became strangely calm. One man removed his helmet, revealing a gentle expression hidden beneath a tough exterior. His name was Luke, a longtime biker, known in the WA community as someone who had seen rough places and learned to lead with compassion. He spotted Amara immediately, her shaking shoulders, her tear-marked cheeks, her clothes slightly worn from the morning rush. She looked like someone trying so hard not to cry. Luke walked toward her with soft steps, lowering himself to one knee so he could meet her eyes. The sunlight hit his leather jacket, but his face was nothing but warm. "Hey, are you okay?" he asked softly. Amara bit her lip. She didn't want to cry, but the moment someone showed kindness, her defenses melted. "I'm scared to walk to school," she whispered. "It's far, and I don't feel safe." Luke's expression shifted, not to anger, but to deep concern. Behind him, the rest of the bikers removed their helmets, watching the interaction with silent understanding. "Why didn't you tell someone?" he asked. "I didn't want to bother anybody," she said. The simplicity of her answer broke something inside the entire group. Luke placed a steady, reassuring hand on her shoulder. "Little one, asking for help doesn't bother us. It helps us do what we're here to do." The other bikers nodded, forming a protective circle with their presence. They weren't loud, they weren't intimidating. They were simply there. "Do you want us to walk you to school?" Luke asked gently. Amara looked up with hopeful eyes, unsure if she should believe such a big promise. "All of you?" she asked, pointing to the entire group. Luke smiled. Every single one. The biker behind him, a tall woman named Marlene with braids tucked neatly beneath her helmet, leaned in. "No one should walk scared, sweetheart. Not on our watch." Amara wiped her tears with the back of her hand. "Okay, but only if it isn't too much trouble." Marlene laughed softly. "We ride motorcycles, baby. Trouble is our middle name. But kindness, that's our first." The group chuckled, breaking the tension. Luke stood and extended his hand. "Let's do this." Amara placed her small hand in his, and the entire biker group formed up like a peaceful escort squad. 8 motorcycles rolled slowly behind them as they walked, Luke and Marlene flanking Amara on either side. People came out of their houses just to watch. Some stared, some gasped, some smiled, but one thing was clear. Everyone noticed the way the bikers treated Amara like she mattered. And for the first time in a long time, she believed she did. Every step felt lighter, every breath felt easier. Luke asked gentle questions. "What's your favorite subject?" "Art." "What do you like to draw?" "People." Smiling, he smiled back. "Well, today you gave us a reason to smile too." Halfway to school, Amara's posture shifted. She no longer clutched her backpack like armor. She walked boldly, chin up. And the students who usually ignored her, they couldn't ignore the 8 full-sized motorcycles parked outside the schoolyard. Kids whispered, teachers stared, and Amara, she walked in with confidence she'd never felt before. A teacher approached Luke cautiously. Is everything all right?" Luke nodded. She just needed someone to walk with her today. The teacher looked touched, almost tearful. "Thank you, truly." Amara glanced back at her biker escorts. "Will you come again tomorrow?" Luke placed a hand over his heart. tomorrow, and the next day, and the next, until you feel strong enough to walk on your own." Her smile could have lit up the entire playground. The next morning, the bikers showed up again. And not just 8 this time. 23. Word had spread across nearby neighborhoods in biker groups. Men, women, young riders, older riders, everybody wanted to be part of Amara's walk-to-school crew. When Amara stepped outside, her jaw dropped. "So many." Luke shrugged with a grin. "You're pretty important." The group stood in silent formation. And when Amara walked forward, they parted like a path opening just for her. But the biggest surprise, at the end of the walk, the WA members gathered around Amara. Luke knelt down again, holding something in his hand, a small badge shaped like a tiny motorcycle. "From today onward," he said, gently pinning it to her backpack, "you're the honorary youngest member of the Freedom Riders." The bikers cheered softly. Amara covered her mouth, overwhelmed. "You mean, I'm part of your group?" Luke nodded. "You're family now, and family walks together." Amara's daily walk soon inspired the entire neighborhood. Parents started walking their children too. Neighbors who never spoke began greeting one another. Local businesses sent breakfast snacks for the riders. And the school introduced a safe walk program named the Amara Pathway. What began as one child's fear became a whole community's awakening. One afternoon, Amara's mother, exhausted from work and overwhelmed by gratitude, approached Luke with tears in her eyes. "I don't know how to thank you," she whispered. Luke shook his head. "You don't owe us a thing. Your daughter gave us a purpose," Marlene added, "and she reminds us what real courage looks like." Amara hugged her mom tightly, then ran to stand between Luke and Marlene as she normally did. Luke glanced down. "You feeling safe now?" Amara nodded proudly. "Yes, but even when I'm older, can I still walk with you?" Luke's smile softened. "As long as you want us, we're here." Years later, when Amara was older and confident enough to walk alone, the bikers still showed up occasionally, just to check on her, just to remind her that she mattered. And every time she saw them, she waved happily. She grew stronger, she grew braver, she grew into a young girl who no longer feared walking alone, because she knew she had an entire community behind her. The day she finally walked to school without the bikers, Luke stood proudly on the sidewalk, arms crossed, smile wide. "You did it," he whispered. And Amara, walking tall, replied, "I learned from the best."